The following is a production of the Neighborhood Sports Network.
This is the NSPN Prep Update, a weekly look at scores, highlights, and stories from across the state. Hello and welcome to the NSPN Prep Update. I'm Ryan Phelps, coming to you today from Target Field, home of the 4 state baseball championship games. Today, we'll celebrate the end of the 25-26 school year and our first season of the Prep Update. We'll take a look back at some of our favorite feature stories. When we started this show back in September, it was just a test pilot with myself, Hannah, and JB to see if we could put a weekly show together. We found out we could and have grown since then with more reporters and more help behind the scenes to bring you the best of what NSPN has to offer. Speaking of that, let's start our look back by revisiting the winter season. The Breck Girls Hockey team had won 4 state titles, including a three-peat from 2018 through 2020. However, the playoff road had mostly been closed with just 3 playoff wins since their last championship. Justin Barrientos examined how Breck was trying to rebuild a champion this season.
It's been a few years since Breck Girls Hockey has been able to raise a championship trophy, but with a talented group of sophomores, this Mustang team is looking to ride that youth movement to possibly raise a trophy this year.
We're a fun, fast team and that just plays the game the right way. We really try to reinforce doing the little things, and are you willing to do those little things?
I don't think age matters for us. I think it's just go out there, compete hard, do the best you can.
My success only is from how our team has been playing, and I think our team has been playing so unselfishly that it's been helping everyone on the team get points.
I think there's 7 sophomores on varsity, so we're all in the same grade. We all are in like same classes.
It's a fun dynamic to have because we're like super young, and it's a lot of growth that happens throughout our team, and I think everybody's like working together really well.
The youth movement is real, and these kids made a choice to come to Breck when a lot of other people didn't want to come to Breck because we weren't that good.
Breck won the state championship in 2020, their 3rd straight title, but the next season saw a long losing streak, and ultimately several coaches resigned before the end of the 2021 season. Trisha Loma offered to help finish the year.
I said, what do you need? And they were like, well, we need a coach on the bench on Saturday. It's senior day and to help us finish our season. And I was like, okay, I was coaching U12s at the time, but I, enjoyed it and just kind of pursued the position full time, and I'm still here.
It wasn't a simple process to rebuild. Breck and Coach Loma knew that time and patience was needed to right the ship.
After that coaching staff stepped down, they graduated 3 seniors, and then I want to say 9 players left.
We put our young kids in a lot of really uncomfortable positions in the first 2 years. We asked a lot from them. We asked them to be mature and act, beyond their years.
Since then, the program has started to resemble the successful teams of the past, but one hurdle has remained. West Tonka Southwest Christian has ended the season the past 2 years in the playoffs, but this year, Breck has defeated them twice in the regular season.
Proving to them and us that we are able to beat them twice is just so fun.
It's just a really nice feeling when you were able to overcome that after so many times of losing in our section and like our season ending because of that.
While there are many factors and contributions that have led to this year's great start, one that kept popping up in conversation is the play of 9th grader Clara Malinkovich, who played a majority of last year and has now developed as one of the best goalies in the state.
As most coaches probably, they don't really, they let their goalies do their thing.
She'll always be cheering us on. She'll always be helping us out in different plays, so I think that's been really good too.
You couldn't ask for anything better. She's great. She's a funny person off the ice and on the ice. She just brings that joy.
If we didn't have her, honestly, our success rate would not be as high as it is.
She still has kind of that little kid to her, but when it's game time, she's locked in and she's ready to go.
There have been some great individual efforts offensively and defensively, but this team is focused on team and the team motto, we over me.
Ever since we started that mentality this year, the we over me, it's really helped us drive us wanting to win.
It's really been important, and to hear the girls, live it and talk about it makes us proud to think that, sometimes we just think we're talking and nobody's listening, but it's nice and it feels good, and it truly is a team game.
How far can this year's Breck team go?
I think this team will go as far as they want to.
We obviously want to go to state. I think believing in ourselves is the biggest thing for us.
We have the grit, we have the stamina, we have the talent, we have everything that we need to be able to make it as far as we want.
At Anderson Ice Arena in Golden Valley, Justin Barrientos, NSPN.TV.
We ended up choosing a good team to feature as Breck would go on to win the Class 1A state title this season with a 4-1 win over Warroad. The winter season proved to have a lot of storylines for us to follow. And as the saying goes, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Mike Peden revisits the culmination of the high school careers of Tori Orline and Madden Greenway.
The story of Madden Greenway and Tori Orline, #1 and #2 in the state for career points and assists, is one of divergent origins and shared greatness. As the daughter of a longtime Vikings veteran, Madden took the court with plenty of name recognition.
I made it my mission to try and make a name for myself. I honestly hated, it was cool what my dad did, but I hated being known as his daughter or people saying I just got attention due to him. I've just really had to get out of my head about everything has to be perfect. It's been big shoes to fill, but I think, I've done pretty well.
Growing up in the Cuyana Iron Range, Tori's small-town roots led more than a few to brush up on their geography.
No one knows where Crosby Ironton is, and I feel like it's just great to come from there, and it's I have such a loving community, and they've supported me through everything.
Both players set goals that required significant revisions.
I just had kind of small goals. I wanted to score some points. My goal was 1,000 in high school, which I've done.
I was saying I wanted to get 1,000 points in my career, and I got it really fast, so it was really nice to get that early.
Every other scoring milestone came just as fast.
Greenway looking for the steal. Orline underneath. There it is. The fastest player ever in Minnesota girls basketball to score 3,000 points.
Tori would reach it first, with Madden not far behind.
Absolutely. Greenway will try again.
Got it!
Got it! 3,000 points!
Until Madden claimed the career scoring record for good in the Section 5-2A championship after Tori and Crosby Ironton were upset in the Section 7-2A semifinals. That being said, their historic success deserves a deeper exploration. Orline holds state records for most career rebounds, most career quadruple doubles, and most assists in a single game. Greenway broke the state record for most points in a season in the final game of her high school career. A fitting touch for her 5th girls basketball state title with Providence Academy. Greenway is also the only player to score 1,000 points in a season 4 times.
I think it's amazing that both her and I have been able to do this and grow the sport of basketball. And I think it's awesome that we both get to experience this journey together and grow the sport. I think it's just amazing that what we've done.
For me, it's really cool to be able to, I know people put a lot of pressure on both of us, and I think we both performed in all the games that we've played, which has been cool.
It's all them, we're a small part of what they do. Both of them I know are incredible gym rats. Will find a gym anytime they can, a trainer anytime they can to push them to the next level. We're just a small part of their success, but I'm real dang happy to be a part of it.
There was a time when Rebecca Dahlman's scoring record was thought to be untouchable. Only time will tell if the mark set by Madden Greenway and Tori Orline will be surpassed. But the sight of 2 women blazing new trails simultaneously may never come again. And that's why they're held in high regard.
We're lucky enough to have 2 of these girls in the same class, and a lot of girls throughout the state are going to look up to them for many years to come because a few of those records are going to be tough to break.
It's just cool to see us playing against each other. It's just playing a normal game, and it's just 2 girls playing who've made a bunch of history together.
They make it just a head-on-head matchup, and that can kind of be stressful. What if you don't outplay the other person? What are, all these different narratives. But I think we both had good games when we played each other, and I know for me it's a little bit relieving just to be able to kind of live up to that.
As our 2 record breakers graduate to the college level, they will pass on the baton of inspiration.
People have come up to me and said it's really cool how you are yourself and are outgoing on the court, and I think that's something that I hope that I can kind of bring out of younger girls.
I know how much she's done, but it feels like I'm just always there, that it's she did that. But then I step out and I'm holy crap, that's super cool,
I didn't have to go to a big basketball school to get recognition. I hope the next generation realizes you just have to play your heart out and you will get recruited no matter what.
I'm Mike Peden for NSPN.
We'll continue to watch these amazing athletes as Madden Greenway heads to Kentucky, while Tori Orline will come to the Metro to play for the Gophers. There's more to come on the Prep Update. We'll take a short look back to when Target Field opened their doors for some regular season high school baseball games. And we'll see how the emerging sport of boys volleyball has opened some unexpected doors. That and more on the way. But first, it's trivia time. As we look back, let's go way back and ask, what was the first event covered by NSPN? We'll have the answer after the break.
New journey.
Division 3 straight to Division 1.
New energy. Same standard.
The Tommies have climbed to the peak of the summit.
And your Pioneer Football League champions wear purple and gray.
No limits. Welcome to St. Thomas Athletics.
Built live. Built on passion. Built by the team behind the game.
Out to the corner for 3. The Irish are rolling. They take their first lead of the game.
NSPN, the Neighborhood Sports Network. Be a part of our crew as a broadcaster or camera operator. Email jobs@nspn.tv to inquire about employment opportunities.
Your trivia question was, what was the first event covered by NSPN? The answer is December 4th, 2013. Andy Price called a game between Hopkins and Lakeville South, then under the moniker of PrepSpotlight.tv. Welcome back to the NSPN Prep Update, coming to you from Minneapolis and Target Field, home of the Minnesota Twins. Target Field has also become the home of the Minnesota State High School League State Baseball Championships. But those aren't the only teams that have been able to touch the same field once occupied by the likes of Joe Mauer. Last spring, Joe's alma mater, Cretin-Durham Hall, won last year's Big School State Baseball Championship. Last month, the Raiders made their return to the home of the Twins against a longtime rival hungry for revenge. Jeff Pappas caught up with both teams to get their thoughts on playing on the big league stage.
Last spring, Cretin-Durham Hall was the king of Minnesota's big school baseball mountain. And winning the championship, they joined the ranks of the many other great Raiders teams as champs.
As any high school baseball fan will tell you, this is where Cretin-Durham Hall won the state championship last season. And one of the great stories of that win is the third base tarp.
The catch made in the 7th inning by third baseman Blake Bullis over the tarp along the third baseline was as good as any you'll see at any level, but it almost didn't get made because of Target Field's ground rules.
That was something special. The ironic that a lot of people don't know is in the ground rules, they told us you can't jump on it. And so I kind of made a joke to Blake and our third baseman. I said, hey, if you're going to catch a pop fly in here, you got to dive into it and you got to catch it. You can't jump on it. And he did exactly that.
But it did get made, and the name of Blake Bullis, now a pitcher at the College of St. Scholastica in Duluth, entered Raider lore.
Tell me about the play at third base last year, behind the play on the tarp. I called that, and with Steve Thompson. It was a great play, but what kind of memories does it bring back for you?
Yeah, that was unreal. I was actually in the bullpen watching that play. It was super exciting, and we miss him. Blake Bullis, we miss him a lot.
But it's a new season, and it's time for the Raiders to defend their championship in the upcoming playoffs. And as a tune-up for that defense, Cretin-Durham Hall met up with an old rival last week on the same field. Meet White Bear Lake, a team that lost only 5 times in 2025, but 3 of those losses were to the Raiders, and 2 of them were in the playoffs. That meant the Bears owed Cretin a little payback.
Yeah, I mean, they're a great baseball team. I mean, baseball traditions goes all the way back with them. We love to get their number. We're young. We're a team that's very hungry, and we love to compete and coach. And, we're excited for the opportunity.
This year's Bears are much younger and had won 6 times coming into the matchup against the Raiders' 15-6 mark entering the game. And before it started, the players on both sides got a chance to look around at their surroundings and dream big.
What would it be like to hit one out of here? I think it's got to take a pretty good shot to get one out of this ballpark today.
Yeah, we got a few guys that can do it. I know we're a very good hitting team, but not me.
What would that celebration be like in the dugout when a guy hits one out of a major league park?
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, hopefully we get that done today. That would be cool.
Yeah, I love the right field porch, Max Kepler. Going deep there brings back some good memories.
What would it mean to you to hit one out of this place?
I would mean everything. That'd be the most special baseball moment of my life, for sure.
For the Twins, this is an opportunity for these kids to come out and play a little baseball here at Target Field. Not every high school team in the region gets that opportunity, but it's a great little spot that we get the opportunity here in April, May, and a little bit of June to get these kids out here. So it's a good thing to do.
And as you might expect, finding teams to play at Target Field isn't really all that difficult.
How do you choose the teams?
I usually have teams that reach out to me in advance, so I have a list of teams that each year that want to join us, and I just go through the list of what teams want to join us, and they want to do the package, join us, and jump in. So it's usually folks reach out to me, so I don't really have to find them.
Records aside, this is a place for memories, but both coaches and players on both teams say the win is the most important thing.
This is something that you'll remember your whole life, so that I think no matter what, win or lose, you're going to have that experience that you're going to be able to tell your kids one day that you played here, a high school game, but I'd rather have the win.
Honestly, I see this wall back here, and I remember the old Metrodome, and I remember getting to play there in my high school and college days, and now get to see that, and all our other players get to see go and play against it now. It's just super special. It's awesome.
And though the captains we interviewed didn't get to achieve their ultimate goals, they both had moments to remember.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded to the right side and through for a base hit. And Bachmeyer will stop at second base. Second straight hit for Humphrey. And here's his pitch. Swung on and grounded to the right side. That's in for a base hit. Krauser rounding second. He heads for third. And he's being waved around. Krauser heading for the plate, and he will score on an RBI double. And Cretin-Derham Hall has a 6-0 lead.
For the record, the Raiders won the game 6-0, but in the end, the memories made along the way might well mean just as much. In Minneapolis, Jeff Pappas for NSPN.
Boys volleyball wrapped up their second season just last week. The sport is coming off the heels of a successful first season. Fletcher Anderson went out west to check in on the newest member with a great history.
A year ago, the MSHSL crowned their first state champion in boys volleyball. This year, a new team almost 3 hours away from the Twin Cities will be joining the fold. Lac qui Parle Valley is located nearly 3 hours west of the Twin Cities in Madison, Minnesota. It sits closer to the largest cities in both North and South Dakota than it does to its own state. They're over 2 hours away from their closest member of the MSHSL boys volleyball, that being St. Cloud.
The last 2 years we've been doing this through community ed, so we've just been playing some local towns like Dawson Boyd, Wilmer, Sartell, Brainerd, those types of teams.
Despite the isolation, they made the jump from community ed to the MSHSL, and it couldn't have been done without the usual community support surrounding them.
When we went to Burnsville, we probably had 20, 25 people come down to Burnsville and cheer us on.
They've been talking about how good these boys are, for years, and when we finally heard that boys volleyball was a sport, we were like, we got to get them involved in this.
The area houses over a 46% Micronesian population, and volleyball is woven into the fabric of their culture from a very young age.
They're on a small island. They don't have other sports to do, but they have a net and a ball, so that's what they all play.
Sometimes we have them and their families come in. We leave the nets up here, and they'll come in and they'll be playing till almost midnight.
It helped power them to an undefeated season last year. That was only in 17U, though. They will look to continue their success with both lofty and specific off-the-court goals as they make the jump up to the MSHSL.
We're excited to play someone that's going to be probably a little bit better, and maybe even excited to lose because we haven't lost, in 2.5 years.
The disadvantage we have is the height, since other schools actually have more height than us, but you know what they say, pride over height.
They'll have to do it with a David versus Goliath school battle in terms of enrollment compared to those in their section, being on long bus rides to tournaments and away games. But they are equipped and ready for their first year in the MSHSL to be as memorable as any.
I got creative this year, reached out to Brainerd, and then reached out to Battle Lake, which on Google Maps is halfway in between Brainerd and us. So we're playing a neutral site game there. Then we're playing St. Cloud and Wilmer at a neutral site as well. We got 50 kids a grade, they got whatever. And you only get 6 on the court, so let's see what happens.
From Lackaparro Valley, I'm Fletcher Anderson.
As our show evolved this year, we took the show out of the studio and on the road to visit some of the schools that we broadcast events from. I was able to meet up with some great administrators along the way. Here is one of my favorites. It's 365 miles from East Grand Forks to Le Sueur. Dave Swanberg made that trek 40 years ago. He was looking for a place where he could teach and coach multiple sports. Le Sueur was not on his radar.
Ironically enough, my wife was the one who sent the app out to here, and I had no idea that Le Sueur even had a hockey team. Came down here to be a Phi Ed instructor and coach hockey and football and baseball, and 40 years later, the rest is history. Yeah, it's been an awesome place for a career and to be able to raise a family here. I've loved every minute of it.
He and his wife went south and set up a life in a town he had never heard of.
Honestly, did not. And I really, truly did not believe that they had a hockey program, let alone a hockey rink. First day I was here, when I got introduced to the place, they had a state horseshoe tournament going on in the hockey rink here. There was no plexiglass, it was chicken wire. But that year, they ended up getting some plexiglass, and the program has really grown throughout the years. And obviously, being a part of the co-op helped grow the program a lot.
A former college hockey player himself at Concordia Moorhead, Swanberg had experience in boys hockey and led their program here for years. Then switched to assist with the girls.
You know, coaching the girls has honestly just really been a treat. They want to be coached hard. The drama that goes into girls hockey is off ice. It's never on the ice. Once they're here, they get along great. Like any teenage girls, they have their moments, but honestly, it's been very few and far between. A lot of things they take are literal, which is the hard part of hockey, because it's not stationary, right? The puck's always moving and things are always moving. And, well, coach, you told me to be here when this happens. Well, but honestly, it's been a dream job for me.
Now he balances coaching with his gig as the Region 2A secretary for the Minnesota State High School League.
Timing is everything again, right? And right about the time I retired as the activities director and assistant principal at Le Sueur Henderson, an opening came up. Sharon Early, the long-term region secretary, was ready to retire, and I applied for the job and was fortunate enough to get it. For me, it's just a dream job. Again, being involved with athletics, activities, both the fine arts and on the athletic side as a region secretary is right in my wheelhouse, and get to deal with great people, the athletic administrators throughout Region 2A, and yeah, really appreciate that opportunity.
This historic season for the Minnesota River girls hockey team ended in a 3-1 loss to the top seed Mankato East in the section championship. Coming up, we'll pull 2 more stories out of our season archive, and we'll head a little west to take a closer look at Minnetonka High School in our School Snapshot. That's all next on the NSPN Prep Update.
There's a new destination for all things Minnesota high school sports. It's called Strib Varsity. It's from the Minnesota Star Tribune, so you know it's trusted. With a deep bench to cover all of Minnesota. We've rebuilt and relaunched our MN Prep hubs and added more sports, stories, streams, stats, scores, schedules. We have it all at Strib Varsity. Subscribe today at startribune.com/stribvarsity.
Welcome back to the NSPN Prep Update at Target Field, home of the Minnesota Twins since 2010. When we expanded the team working on this show, we were able to branch out a little more in social media, where this next feature comes from. Jacob Ilenardo was one of the top goalies in the state this year with a save percentage of .927 and a 1.93 goals against average. Jack Miners was at the rink when Ilenardo delivered one of his strongest performances of the season in Cloquet's upset win over Hermantown in the section semifinals.
What we just witnessed was possibly the best performance by a goalie in the section tournament so far. That's Cloquet's Jacob Ilenardo. He stopped 47 shots tonight. Connor Sullivan gets our scoring started with just 11 seconds left in the first period. Here's Neil Elsmore to put Cloquet Esco Carleton up 2 just 2 minutes into the second period. And then late in the second period, Luca Gentilini gets a fortunate bounce off a defender's skate. Of course, Hermantown couldn't leave without one goal. Here's Bo Christie just 46 seconds into the third period. But an empty netter by Jordy Sewell was all that was needed to clinch a championship appearance for Cloquet Esco Carleton.
We'll close out our season feature look back with a story of a team that played this season with extra purpose. The boys tennis team from Como Park celebrated a milestone season. As Andrea Mayu explains, it's an example of setting goals, putting in the work, and getting some help from one of your biggest cheerleaders along the way.
It's been kind of a magical season.
How do you rebuild a tennis program from the ground up?
No one ever thought we'll be here.
Give it time, have a plan, and plenty of persistence.
One of our boys broke his wrist, and then right the day before the season started, another boy tore his thumb. So we've just been fighting a lot of uphill battles.
Coach Kia Yang graduated from Como Park, but started playing tennis after graduation.
I'm a math teacher, so I tell them, and this is from Malcolm Gladwell, who did a lot of his reading, and he says, if you grow 1% every day, how good will you be after a year? And it's like 28 times better. So that's always on the kids. It's not about winning or losing. It's about getting out there and improve every day.
And improve they have. Coach Yang went from fielding 14 athletes in his first season in 2019 to more than 30 now.
Then now if you look at like out there, 16 different ethnicity of kids.
1% by 1%, the Cougars added wins and went undefeated in St. Paul City play this season, taking the conference title for the first time in 20 years. The last time that happened, longtime coach and teacher Kathy Dumas led the Como Park program.
She actually bought me my first performance racket, which still remains today the most expensive racket that I've ever owned. That's how generous and kind she was.
Athletic director Kua Yang played tennis for Dumas. She'd open this space at night to offer kids a safe place to play. That program stopped when the courts deteriorated.
We talked a lot about the state of Como Park tennis and the facilities, and I just said, yeah, it's in really bad shape. The courts are really tough shape, and our kids deserve better. And so one day, I got a call from Merrill Lynch, her financial institution, and they said, well, we have a mutual friend that wants to donate courts. And I'm like, who is that? And it was Kathy Dumas.
Not only did Dumas donate $350,000 to completely replace the courts, she set aside $400,000 for future upkeep.
We're not embarrassed to invite suburban schools to come play us anymore because we don't have the cracks that run through all 4 courts.
Dude, the old courts, right, had so many cracks in them, and now they feel so good to play on, and I'm just like, every time I play on these courts, I think of her.
Dumas attended the dedication the fall of 2024, but she died this past October. Perhaps she sent a sign, though, when the boys clinched the conference title on the home court she helped rebuild.
It was cloudy that day, but then when we were talking about her, the sun kind of came down right at that moment as we were talking about her. So it was just like she was watching over us. She was just looking down and really proud and smiling like, you guys did it.
We wanted that special moment for her. She provided so much for us.
A grassroots effort to bring the courts back to life, now full circle.
It took a whole village, as they say.
In St. Paul, I'm Andrea Mayu for NSPN.
Time for our school snapshot. That's where we get to know the towns, schools, and communities outside the playing field. This week we highlight a school that has been very busy this spring, Minnetonka. Minnetonka, nestled on the east side of the famous lake that shares its name. Located 18 miles west of U.S. Bank Stadium, the area was inhabited by Dakota and Ojibwe tribes before the European settlers first arrived in 1822. Carlson Companies and Cargill headquarters are located in Minnetonka and provide many jobs for its residents. Still others work in the medical field, engineering, and education. Minnetonka High School is one of the largest in the state, with an enrollment of over 3,400 students. The school's size and affluence are reflected in the vast course selection and high marks. That also carries over to the playing field. The Skippers have more than 100 team championships to their credit. The most go to boys swimming, girls track, and cheerleading. Their only football title came 20 years ago. The chance at another would be pretty cool, just like the waters of Lake Minnetonka. That's it for this episode of the NSPN Prep Update. Special thanks to everyone here at Target Field, and of course to all of you who joined us along the way all season long. Next week, we'll be in Glenwood, Minnesota, Minnewaska Area High School, site of the upcoming State Legion Baseball Tournament. Our producer is Justin Barrientos, editor Jake Loftus. Our creative director is Hannah Strenger. For Andrea Mayu, Mike Peden, Fletcher Anderson, Jack Miners, Jeff Papis, and the rest of the NSPN crew, I'm Ryan Phelps, saying so long from the Neighborhood Sports Network.